The night was dark, the moon a mere sliver in the inky sky. I was driving down a long, winding road that seemed to stretch endlessly through the dense woods. The only source of light was the feeble glow of my car's headlights, casting eerie shadows on the trees that loomed menacingly on either side. The radio played static-filled tunes, adding to the growing sense of unease that had settled over me. I had taken this route countless times before, but tonight was different. It was as if the very air was thick with a palpable sense of dread, and every rustling leaf and distant hoot of an owl sent shivers down my spine. I had been driving for hours, my destination a remote cabin deep in the heart of the forest. It was supposed to be a weekend getaway, a chance to escape the chouse of city life and recharge. But as I navigated the winding road, I couldn't help but feel that I was being watched, that something sinister lurked in the shadows. My headlights suddenly flickered, causing me to grip the steering wheel in alarm. The road ahead disappeared into darkness for a split second before the lights came back on. I shook my head, attributing it to a glitch in the car's electrical system. But the unease in my gut persisted. I reached for my phone to check the time, but it was dead, its screen black and lifeless. I cursed under my breath, realizing that I had forgotten to charge it before leaving. The isolation of the forest weighed on me like a heavy shroud. There was no signal, no way to call for help if I needed it. As I continued down the desolate road, I noticed something strange in the distance. A figure, illuminated by the dim glow of my headlights, stood in the middle of the road. My heart raced as I slowed down, trying to make out who or what it was. The figure appeared to be a woman, her long, disheveled hair obscuring her face. I rolled down my window and called out, "Are you okay? Do you need help?" There was no response. She just stood there, swaying gently in the breeze. Fear gnawed at the edges of my mind, but a sense of duty compelled me to investigate further. I cautiously stepped out of my car, the cold night air sending a chill down my spine. The woman's hair still covered her face, and she seemed oblivious to my presence. "Hey, are you lost?" I asked again, my voice trembling. With a sudden, jerky movement, she slowly turned to face me. My blood ran cold as I saw her face for the first time. Her eyes were hollow sockets, devoid of life, and her lips were twisted into a grotesque smile that seemed to stretch impossibly wide. I stumbled backward in horror, my heart pounding in my chest. Without warning, the woman lunged at me, her bony fingers outstretched. I screamed and darted back into my car, slamming the door shut just in time to avoid her grasp. She pounded on the window, her hideous smile never leaving her face. Her long, tangled hair spilled over her shoulders like a waterfall of darkness. I fumbled for the car keys and frantically started the engine. The headlights cut through the darkness, and I saw more figures emerging from the shadows. They were all around me now, their hollow eyes fixed on me, their smiles stretching impossibly wide. I hit the gas pedal and sped away, leaving the nightmarish figures behind. My heart raced, and terror coursed through my veins. I had no idea what I had just encountered, but I knew it was something unnatural, something that defied explanation. I drove for what felt like hours, the winding road never seeming to end. The forest seemed to close in on me, the trees reaching out with gnarled branches as if trying to ensnare me. The radio continued to play static, the sound now a haunting cacophony that added to my growing sense of desperation. Just when I thought I couldn't take it anymore, the road ahead finally straightened and the woods gave way to an open field. In the distance, I saw the dim glow of a small town. Relief flooded over me, and I pushed my car to its limits to reach the safety of civilization. As I entered the town, the eerie feeling of being watched finally began to dissipate. The people I encountered were ordinary, their faces filled with curiosity but not malice. I pulled into a gas station and finally took a moment to catch my breath. I knew I would never forget that night, the night when I had driven down a desolate road and encountered something beyond comprehension. The memory of those hollow eyes and that twisted smile haunted my every thought. And I knew deep down that the darkness that had surrounded me that night was something far more sinister than I could ever imagine.